Hello, everybody, and welcome to the UIS Junk, or that's one way to start off this stream. Give me 1 second, everybody. Welcome to the Junk or Treat 300 here at Homestead-Miami Speedway, our Halloween special event here in the Universal IRacing series. My name is Maxwell Funderburk. I will be joining you here tonight. Qualifying currently underway at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Raymond Root currently top of the board with a 33.010. As you can see here, we'll look at another driver, see if we can get a shot of somebody else on track. Looking at one driver currently 20th, pulling it down pit road. 21st now, William Yakum. He completed his lap. Everybody will make the field. It was top 40 will make the field, but I believe we have 30-something cars. Somewhere in the range of that, if I'm not mistaken. We are taking a look. Wyatt D. Thompson. He's currently on an out lap. Or excuse me, just finished his lap. JJ Moore looks like his lap just wrapped up. Drivers less than 1 minute remaining in practice. Nicholas Martinez Jr. parked on the banking there. 6th quick. Excuse me, JJ Moore was getting up to speed for his out lap. He's the driver of that number 42 machine. He's running that low line down here at Homestead. Many drivers electing to run all the way up close top to the wall, try to slingshot their way off the corner. Not what he's doing here. Trenton Wilkin bringing it down pit road. Christian Zarate, he's out on a lap. Currently 11th quick with a 33.157, which currently puts him 0.216 behind that of the pole sitter Trenton Wilkin, as qualifying just wrapped up. Well, here we are. Your field is set. 1 second here, we'll take a look at our drivers. We'll take the grid walk here. We're getting things figured out. So here we are, taking a look at our starting grid. So starting on the pole with a 32.941, that's going to be Trenton Wilkin. Starting on his outside will be Raymond Root. 3rd, Pete Tart. 4th, Henry Koloff. 5th, Merrick Watchorn. 6th, Peter Hoppy. Nicholas Martinez Jr. will start 7th, and Derek Schaefer will round out your top 8. Starting 9th, you have JJ Moore. 10th, Miles Bagley. 11th, Christian Zarate. 12th, Cameron Craighead. 13th, Wyatt D. Thompson. 14th, Nicholas Rode. 15th, Travis Prather. And 16th, Jackson Tovo. Starting 17th, you have Tyler Helms. 18th, Max Ford. Carmelo Echeverria. Chase Smith. James A. Tate. Richard Myers. David Hamburg. And Rex Jenkins. Next, you got William Yakum. And these are all drivers after William that have not qualified. Eric Lombard. Alex Smith. Trace McDowell. Hector Colazzo. And Jet Miller, I believe, because Chase George is our race official. And that there rounds out our starting lineup here at Homestead-Miami Speedway for our Halloween special event tonight, the Junk or Treat 300. Now, the way that things tonight are going to work is it's all based off of donations from the viewers. And the way that things work is a $2 donation will be top 2 invert on the next caution. $5 is a random car gets EOL on the next caution up until 20 laps to go. Top 5 invert next caution for $7 up until 20 to go. $10 gets you a random top 10 car gets an EOL next caution up until 20 to go. $15 gets you top 10 invert next caution with more than 20 to go. And $20 gets you random top 5 car gets an EOL next caution with more than 20 laps to go. So that's all of the donation info right there, in case anybody wants to spice things up a little bit. As you see here, pole sitter Trenton Wilkin. He's a regular here in the Universal iRacing Series, runs both Cup and Xfinity full time. He's going to be starting on the pole. Raymond Root, guy that came here just for the special event. So he's going to be, it's going to be interesting to see. We got a good number of people here today that are not typical UIS regulars, so we'll see how they fare today against the regulars in UIS. Pete Tart, guy starting third, that number 54 Toyota Supra. He's a regular here in UIS. You see the cars going through turns 1 and 2, the banking. Now I'll just let you guys know the race is 200 laps. Yes, that is 200 laps. So it's going to be a long race. These drivers are going to have to bear down and stick in it for the long run. You can see the sunset starting, the sun starting to set there. Lights on the pace car are off. The drivers are double file, which means that we're going to go green this time. As per usual Universal iRacing Series rules, initial restart is on green. All cautions after that will be on the leader and their discretion. Pace car pulls down pit road, and we are green from Homestead-Miami Speedway. Pretty even restart for Raymond Root and Trenton Wilkin. Root on that outside line, Wilkin down low. Everybody's still pretty tightly formed up as they were on the restart there. Going into turn 3 for the first time. Wilkins still on the point. Root not far behind. You can see Henry Kohlhoff, Nicholas Martinez Jr., some of the guys running high up there. They're wrecking in the back. Wrecking right here. That is Cameron Craighead in the Ohio State number 5. That will bring out the caution. We'll get an instant replay on that here. We're looking here. Looks like Peter Hoppy just got up top. Got loose there. We'll take a look at it in slow motion. Or excuse me, yeah, that's Derek Schaefer in that 5. Excuse me, not Cameron Craighead. You see Schaefer just kind of got into the 27 of Hoppy there. Got him spun around. We'll go back full speed here. Kept it high for the most part, then the 5 kind of came down, collected a couple of the cars. Collected back in that incident. David Hamburg right there, you can see pulling away from the incident. Trenton Wilkin, still your race leader after 3 laps out of the 200 here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. We are under caution for the first time here tonight. Now, there's going to be a fairly significant amount of fuel strategy, and tire strategy for that matter, involved in this race with its long race length. Not quite sure how long a driver can go on one tank of fuel, but I know for a fact that 200 laps, some of these guys are going to have to stretch it. Some of them are going to make some fuel strategy calls. Taking an up high look here. Now your current race leader, believe, will be Wyatt D. Thompson in that number 5 Chevrolet. We're back one lap to green. You can see cars that pitted going around on the bottom side there. That car down low there was Miles Bagley joining back up with the field. Bagley actually in the lead, I believe. Yes, Bagley is in the lead. Some things happening right here, and I'm not quite sure what's going on, but we're getting ready to go back green flag racing here at Homestead. Nicholas Martinez Jr. up into 4th spot. Christian Zarate into 5th. Both those drivers climbed a good amount. We're going to take a look at the restart zone. Green flag back out here at Homestead. Into turn 1. Bagley with a good restart. JJ Moore running down low. Thompson up top. They were just 3 wide there for 1 second coming out of the corner. And caution is back out once again. That is William Yakum there involved in that wreck. We'll get a look here. Oh, just got loose coming off the corner. Oh, man, collected Eric LeBombard there. Hard hit for the 58, hard hit for the 7. May end the number 7 of William Yakum's night there. That is the end of his race, so it was a very quick race. There's a pace car back out once more. Second caution of the night already. Taking a look there. JJ Moore up to 2nd place. Thompson right behind him. Caution lights still out. Not quite 1 to go yet. Not much happening so far in terms of green flag racing here at this race. Currently under our second caution of the night with 7 laps in out of 200. Not many green flag laps in so far. Lights on the pace car are off. It's going to be Bagley Moore front row. Thompson, Zarate right behind. JJ Moore, he's won 2 races in the UIS 40XLI Contender Series so far this year, which is our Xfinity Series league. Pretty familiar with these cars. Wyatt D. Thompson is his teammate in full-time competition here in the Universal IRacing Series. Both these two are pretty good in these Xfinity cars, so they might be taking this as an opportunity for some practice. Drivers preparing to go back green flag racing. Pace car down pit road. It's going to be Bagley on the point. Green flag's back out. Oh, no, they're wrecking on the restart. Bagley across. Oh, my goodness. Martinez Jr. involved. Green flag is still out. No, it is not. Caution flag waving once again. Oh my goodness. Need to get a replay on that. What in the world happened? We'll get a replay. On board with Nicholas Martinez Jr. starting right behind Thompson on the restart. Looks like, man, they just checked up. Went whenever they didn't expect him to go. Just all sorts of drivers involved in that incident right there. Back here, race leader Wyatt D. Thompson inherited the lead from Miles Bagley there on that restart chaos. It's our third caution of the night. Drivers having plenty of opportunity to save plenty of fuel. Thompson, Moore, Watchhorn, Bagley, Zarate, and Echeverria down pit road. Excuse me, not Echeverria, Craighead. All down pit road. You can see pit lane entry. Ooh, that was real close. One car very, very, very close to hitting the pit wall there. Drivers getting service, repairing their damage from that restart incident that just occurred right there. Take a look here. Our race off of pit road. Gonna be Moore, Martinez Jr., Wilkin. Not Wilkin. Excuse me. Brain is all sorts of clustered right now. Sorry for that. Drivers coming into turn 3. Ready to go green once more. Henry Kohlhoff now on the point. Started this race 4th. Currently up 3 spots. Pete Tart on his outside. Talking about big climbers, take a look at Max Ford. He started 18th all the way up to 3rd. Getting ready to go back green here at Homestead. Restart is going to be on the 63 of Henry Kohlhoff, and green flag back out once more at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Restart is clean this time into turn 1. Kohlhoff pulled away from Tart, about a car length or 2. Wilkin Ford battling for that 3rd position. Side by side down the backstretch. Pete Tart now making the move for the lead here. Side by side into turn 3. Now into 4. And down the front. Advantage still going to go to Kohlhoff. Not by much, though. Back into 1. Very close. Wilkin not far behind there. Wilkin and Ford side by side. Into turn 3. Ford now trying to battle for that 2nd position there with Tart. Everybody's running relatively down low. We'll take a look at our wall cams here. You can see the drivers going by. Nobody's particularly running the highline. You can see a couple of cars there running further up, not running all the way up to the wall like you can here at Homestead. Choosing to run a little bit farther down. There you can see the gap, probably about 4 or 5 car lengths between 1st and 2nd of Kohlhoff and Tart. Some spread out racing final. We'll take a look. Battle going on further back here. Got a battle on there, reckon. That's Tovo. Oh, and he's nearly up in the air. Oh my goodness. Caution's gonna fly once more. Hard hit there. Hard wrecks. Take a look at what happened there. So they were 3, nearly 4 wide. Looks like that 33 got into Tovo there. Kind of set off a chain reaction. You can see the 91 of Root there into the wall, Tovo into the wall. And then, man, that right there was Richard Myers into that with a heavy impact to the driver's side door of Jackson Tovo there. Yeah, you can see just how skewed that car is. Take a look at it from another camera angle. Yeah, you can see his hands too, how far. He's not going to be able to make it down pit road with how much damage he has on that car. Maybe he will. He makes it down pit road. Henry Kohlhoff, still our leader. That incident brought out our 4th caution of the day. Made it to lap 17. There's a driver that was involved in that incident, Richard Myers, lots of damage. There's Raymond Root down there. He started 2nd with probably terminal damage. Tovo, Zarate, our last lead lap car. There's Merrick Watchhorn in the 51. Back to Kohlhoff. You can hear Kohlhoff turning off the engine, clutching in, trying to save fuel there. On board with Pete Tart, he might not be saving as much as Kohlhoff is. can hear the clutch go in, trying to save as much fuel as possible. There you can see front stretch stands here at virtual Homestead-Miami Speedway. Nearly packed. All of our virtual racing fans coming out for the Junk Retreat 300. First special event of the year, I believe. Lights on the pace car are back off. Top four is going to be Kalhoff, Tart, Ford, Wilkin. Race restart is going to go to Henry Kalhoff. That 63 Chevy there. It's going to be Kalhoff, Tart, front row. Tyler Helms, he started 17th. He's moved his way up 12 spots. Max Ford started pretty far back. He's up front. Restart. Back green. Henry Kalhoff, Max Ford. Max Ford with an amazing restart there. He's going to have the run. He's going to try to jump to the outside. Not going to quite have the momentum to carry him around Kalhoff. The gap is relatively small. Got around Tart pretty good. Tart falling back in position there on that restart. So you can see the field into turn 3. There's a good angle. Drivers slowly starting to migrate further up. Some drivers are at the wall up there. Max Ford running that high line right up close to the wall. Trying his hardest to get any sort of advantage he can on Kalhoff. Not going to work. Tart's going to catch a little bit, actually. Into turn 3. Kalhoff still with the advantage. Tart catching a little bit. Wilkin also as well. You can see battle between LeBombard, Smith, and Rode there. That's for P6 and 7. Rode running down low. That's Chase Smith running up high there. Rode's going to block that run. Into 3 looking at this backpack. LeBombard side by side with Rode. Rode got real loose coming off the corner there. He saved that. That's pretty impressive. LeBombard up a spot. Here comes Carmelo Echeverria in the 20. Gonna try to fight his way into that 8th spot. Further behind a little bit, there's Hector Collazo in that 95. Driver's getting squeezed up off the corner. Cameron Craighead there. That 33 machine right behind Watchhorn. He's going to dive it down low into the corner here. They're going to be side by side in the corner. Taking a look. Oh, is there a wreck? Cars crashing all over. That is Cameron Craighead, one of the cars involved. I believe there was another car involved, if I'm not mistaken. We'll get a replay there. Cameron Craighead involved in that incident. We are now going into turn 1. We'll ride on board here. We'll get an external shot. Man, just got into the 51 there. Only tapped that inside wall. Kept a pretty good job keeping it off of there and minimizing damage. It's the 33 Cameron Craighead into the inside wall. Not terrible damage sustained on the rear end, but not great either. No damage is great here, especially at a track like Homestead, so aerodynamically important. You see Max Ford down low. Max Ford, Trenton, Wilkin. Wilkin staying out. Max Ford's the only one that came down. Colazo behind. As who was that? That was Bagley just missed pit road. We'll take a look at that. You can see Bagley tried to fake it and just pulled a Kyle Larson at Homestead there and hit the wall. We'll take a look on board here. That's I don't think I've ever seen a driver do that here before. That's definitely something for sure. Fifth caution of the night here, out on lap 26 out of 200, coming from Homestead-Miami Speedway. We'll take you side by side and we'll be right back. Joining you back here from Homestead-Miami Speedway for the Junker Treat 300 here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Henry Kalhoff, still your race leader. Pete Tart, second. Trenton Wilkin, third. Tyler Helms, fourth. Eric LeBombard, fifth. Drivers ready to go back. Green flag racing here. After our fifth caution, brought out by a one-car spin of Cameron Craighead. Restart on Kalhoff. Into the United Rentals restart zone. Green flag back out. With an amazing jump for Kalhoff. Helms on the inside line. Excuse me, not Helms, Wilkin. Did not get a good launch there. Wilkin fell back another position there to Helms. So here we are, Pete Tart. Battle for the race lead into turn 3. Side by side for the race lead. Lap 28 out of 200. It's going to be Tart at the line. Still side by side. Trenton Wilkin, Tyler Helms making their way back up front. Oh, Henry Kalhoff, excuse me, big time loose coming out of the corner there. He's going to get a good run down the backstretch though. Into 3. He's going to send it down low. Tart, it appears, with the better entrance in apex. Kalhoff not quite with the runoff he wanted, and they're wrecking behind. Nicholas Martinez Jr. and oh my goodness, that is, who is that? Max Ford was just nearly upside down. Goodness gracious, we'll get a replay on that. 6th caution of the night. So we'll get a look on board here. Max Ford down the backstretch. Looks like the wreck started pretty far in front of him. Maybe started with Martinez Jr. Wreck did start with Martinez Jr. Excuse me, that actually started with Nicholas Road and Chase Smith there. We'll get a look in slow motion. You can see Smith into the wall off the corner. Martinez Jr. Road bumping each other. Road kind of ran up, got forced up the track into Smith. Spinning up and across in front of the field. You see a couple cars collected there. There's Christian Zarate. We'll take a look here, focus on Max Ford now. And he just kind of found his way in this thing. Maybe trying to avoid. Man, that was Christian Zarate. Christian Zarate was fully upside down. My goodness, that was a big wreck. Barrel roll down the front stretch. Landed on all fours. We'll take a look on board here with Christian Zarate. You can see he got spun, then he just got hit. And barrel roll down the front stretch. And into turn one even. He's still out on track. Coming down pit lane, you can see lots of damage to that front end there. He's going to have quite the amount of repairs. Pete Tart, your race leader, got it there off the restart. Excuse me. Must have inherited the lead right before the caution flew. We saw the battle between Kalhoff and Henry Kalhoff and Pete Tart there, excuse me. Battle for the lead. Thompson back up to P3. Hamburg, David Hamburg, guy we haven't seen up front much today. He might be up to 5th, I believe. Eric LeBombard in 3rd. Thompson in 4th. The drivers going back one lap to the green flag. I believe there may be some confusion here. They figured it out. Pete Tart on the point. Lap 33 out of 200. We've had 6 cautions so far tonight. Caution extended a lap. You can see the lights back on the pace car up front there. Not quite sure what happened, but caution extended for one more lap. I believe they are getting some position stuff figured out here. Now the lights back off the pace car. Take a look at your pole sitter here. Pete Tart. He started in 3rd position. Currently up to the lead. Best lap with a 33.290. We can take a look at the driver on his outside, Henry Kalhoff. His best lap is a 33.286. So Kalhoff's fastest lap, just slightly faster than Pete's there. Very competitive front two. Thompson He's been in the loop up in the front for a good while. He's currently moved his way up from P13. Take a look at our guy in 4th place, Eric LeBombard. He started all the way back in 26th. He's up 22 positions up into P4. As we're ready to go back, green flag racing here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Pete Tart, the control car. Green flag back out. Looks like Kalhoff's won his tires a little bit there, getting on the gas. Allow Tart to get a little bit more of a jump there. Oh, and they're wrecking in the back. They're wrecking big time in the back. Hamburg. Zarate. Once again, we'll get a replay here. Looking. Christian Zarate turned down the backstretch by, well, the 81 got into the 88. Zarate involved. Got hit by Richard Myers there. Myers into the inside wall. Man, Myers hard hit into the wall. Big wreck down the backstretch. That right there very well could have just ended, ended Christian Zarate's night. It's the 2nd wreck that he's been in. He's still out on track. Don't know the current state of his car, though. It's our 7th caution of the night here, lap 36 out of 200. Hopefully we'll get a nice green flag run here soon. Pete Tart, Henry Kalhoff, James A. Tate, excuse me, not Tate. Yeah, James A. Tate are the only guys in the top 10 currently on the same tires. These guys have been on these tires for 37 laps. Probably the oldest in the entire field. But they seem to be managing fairly well. Only trouble so far has been by Henry Kalhoff spinning his tires a little bit there on that last restart, but he seems to be managing fairly well. Lights off the pace car. It's going to be Tart, Kalhoff. Drivers restarts, I believe, have been switched to single file, so hopefully they're trying to get some green flag run out of this. Max Ford, Trent Wilkin, both on those 6-lap-old tires. So both of those guys may be trying to make some sort of advantage. That's Yakum and Martinez Jr. both getting a wave around right there, around the leaders. Lights on the pace car still off, signaling that we are 1 lap to green. going to be a single file restart here. Green flag. Back out at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Tart with a good jump on that restart there. Single file restart, spread the field out a little bit going into turn 1 and into 2. Gap between Tart and Kohlhoff pretty big there. Ford, Thompson, pretty close to each other. Thompson's going to try to make a move on Kohlhoff. Out of the corner, Thompson got a big run mid-corner there. He's gonna keep it middle here. Max Ford ripping that high line. Take a look from the wall. Really only 3 cars are running up top there. Field finally starting to get more spread out here at Homestead. There's Ford outside of Thompson. Battle for P3 as Kohlhoff caught back up to Tart. This entire pack, top 5, all under a blanket here at Homestead. Kohlhoff's going to be on the inside of Tart into 1. They're going to be 2 by 2 here. Tart, Ford running up top. Kohlhoff, Thompson, Wilkin all down low. Out of the corner, still going to be Tart only by a small margin. Top 5 checked out from the rest of the field. Max Ford's looking to go 3. They're not quite there. Tart into the wall. Tart's going to fall back down to 4th. Now down to 5th behind Wilkin. Lead back to Kohlhoff. Here's Max Ford running all the way up top. Trying to get that race lead. He's trying to get the run off the corner. He's going to dip down low to Kohlhoff. They're side by side. Coming into turn 3, big deep send by Ford in the 98 Toyota Supra. He just threw a slide job on Kohlhoff there, and it stuck Max Ford to the lead. Lap 42 in the book. Reckon in the back, I believe someone just into the wall. Saw that there. Kohlhoff now back side by side with Ford. Ford's going to clear him off the exit. Wilkin now sending it in. Way, way down into the corner. Nearly all the way at the bottom. He's going to get past Kohlhoff. He's going to get side by side with Ford out of the corner. Going to slip in behind him on the front stretch. Pete Tart was running first, relegated back to 5th. Max Ford into the wall, slowed him down quite a bit mid-corner. It's going to be Trenton Wilkin coming out of the turn. He's going to inherit the lead. Ford with a big run off the corner, though. He's going to try to do something going into 3. Sticking on Wilkin's right rear, going to fall back a little bit. Still Wilkin on the point here at Homestead. See drivers in the back hitting the wall off the corner. Drivers starting to space out a little bit more. You can see the gap from 1st to 5th is about a 1.5 seconds. Pete Tart falling back rather quick, but the gap is about a second from 5th to 6th. You can see Hector Collazo in the 95. Prather, Rhodes, Smith behind him. Actually see Rhodes here battling with the lap car. That is Martinez Jr., currently the only car down. Got quite a number of scratches from this race already. From those numerous of wrecks occurring earlier on. Thompson trying to make a move on Ford here. Going to try to get side by side with him coming out of turn 3. Not going to be quite enough to get even with that 98 car. Into 3, Thompson slowly closing on to the rear bumper of Max Ford. Not going to quite be enough to get the position. Lap 48 out of 200 here from Homestead-Miami Speedway. We're going to take you Universal Broadcast Network side by side here for the Junker Treat 300 special event here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. I'm Maxwell Funderburk. We'll be right back. Back from our break here on the Universal Broadcasting Network. You're watching the Junker Treat 300 here from Homestead-Miami Speedway. Currently, we're looking at the battle here for P8. Actually, between a lap car, 48 of Nicholas Martinez Jr. and Chase Smith right there, side by side. Into 3, man, Smith just slammed the wall right there into the corner. So we look up here, battle. Thompson just got second from Ford. There's second, third, and fourth right there. Wilkin has taken off there. You can see very, very large gap that he's built up over a second, nearly a second and a half here down the front stretch. But here's our current spotlighted battle, Hector Collazo and Max Ford. Collazo's going to dive it down deep into turn 1. Ford's going to lift up the track a little bit. Going to force them to do that so they don't wreck. Collazo cleared on Ford for third. See our next two cars, Prather and Kalhoff. Kalhoff was leading pretty early on, must have had some tire fall off. Taking a look at Henry Kalhoff. Henry Kalhoff, Pete Tart, both fell off pretty good. Both are on 56 lap old tires. They've not stopped since the beginning of this race, so their tires are starting to slow down slowly but surely. Lap 56 of 200 here at Homestead. Just past a quarter of the way done with this race here. Current hard charger, I'd say probably goes to Hector Collazo. Started really, really far back. Taking a look, Collazo there. Not showing the information. Collazo, though, battling for second. Started all the way back in 28th. He's up to 26th. Primarily focuses on road courses, but today he's running the oval. He's running pretty well. About a second and a half behind the leader, Trenton Wilkin. Last race in the Xfinity cars Wilkin was in, he was involved in a wreck down into turn 1. His steering wheel broke. Yes, quite literally, his steering wheel broke. But it seems like he's gotten things figured out. Currently leading this race with over a second and a half advantage over the rest of the field. It sounds like he may be trying to save some tire too. I'm gonna take a phone call there, excuse me for that. Here you can see the gap between Trenton Wilkin, Hector Collazo, with company behind. Just switch to interval on our ticker here on the left side. You can see gap from Wilkin to Collazo over a second and a half. Gap between Collazo and Thompson is over half a second. Currently about 6/10. Then gap behind to Ford is even more. Field getting pretty spread out here so far at Homestead. Getting a nice green flag run here. Last caution was, I believe, 23 or 24 laps ago, so we've gotten a green flag run in, which is nice to say the least. For those of you watching, be interested in seeing some sort of chaos happen during the race, feel free to donate to the PayPal. If you do donate to the PayPal, I have the list right here. I'll pull it up in 1 second. Excuse me for the crudeness of it, but I'll just type it in here on screen. Not that big, goodness. Sorry about that. I can make it smaller. There we go. Oh my goodness. Looking at the racing behind. Sorry about that. I can just leave that in the corner right there. You see $2 gets you a top 2 invert next caution. $5 gets you random car, gets an EOL next caution, up until 20 to go. All of these are up until 20 to go. $7 gets you a top 5 invert next caution. $10 gets you a random top 10. $10 get you a random top 10 car. Ends up with an EO. As you see, Hector Collazo just into the back of that lap car there. That's William Yakum. They're trying to tell him to get out the way. $15 top 10 invert. 20 random top 5 car gets an EOL. As you see, Collazo may have a tiny bit of front end damage from that contact with the 7 there. Thompson's going to gain quite a bit. He's going to close the gap from the prior about 0.6, nearly down to 1/10. For those of you watching who aren't subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure that you are for all of our streams, for special events, or for the Universal iRacing Series weekly races. We race Monday, Friday, and Saturday. This weekend we have off, but we race trucks, NASCAR trucks, NASCAR Xfinity, NASCAR Cup. Tune in for quality races. Feel free to join our Discord too. It's in the bio on the stream. Get all the insider information on the league. Lap 67 out of 100. Trenton Wilkin stretched the gap to about 2 seconds over Wyatt D. Thompson. We're going to go side by side here at Homestead.
back here live from Homestead-Miami Speedway. Hector Clauso currently in the race lead. Trenton Wilkin pitted, and here comes Clauso down pit road. Max Ford's going to inherit the lead here. JJ Moore not far behind in third, soon to be second place. Trenton Wilkin pitted from the lead, green flag. He's back up to P4 there, battling with Tyler Alms, currently a lap down. Zarate trying to get around Max Ford. He just got stuffed into the wall there. Zarate, I guess on much newer tires, getting around no problem there. Max Ford currently on 50 lap old tires. JJ Moore 51 lap old. Moore's going to get by him for the race lead here. Lap 82 out of 200. Max Ford coming down pit road. JJ Moore staying out. Trenton Wilkin going to get back up to P2 after this pit cycle goes through. JJ Moore looks like he might be trying to come down pit road this time. Not this time. Wonder how much longer he'll stay out for. Currently the oldest car out on tires. 53 lap old tires. Still in the race lead. Trenton Wilkin gap about 11.5 seconds and rapidly closing. Caution is out. Trenton Wilkin turned sideways. Let's see what happened here. Battling with the lap car of Jackson Tovo. Looks like Tovo just slid up into Wilkin. Spun him around. Might need to take a look on board with Tovo. That may have been intentional right there. Someone who's never ran in this league before. We'll take a look from the cockpit here of Tovo. So right here, Trenton Wilkin's going to be down, or no, excuse me, up high. Oh, that's not going to say much, but that looked rather intentional by the 9, and he has been parked, I believe. Not quite sure. Yeah, he's I believe he's out. It looks rather intentional there. It's going to allow JJ Moore to come down pit road under the caution. Wyatt D. Thompson coming down pit road too. Most drivers coming down. This is going to even out the fuel strategy quite a bit compared to what it was. Fuel strategy and tire strategy for that matter. off of pit road. There's Thompson, Prather off of pit road there. Most cars down pit road probably getting repairs of some sort. Hector Collazo, still your race leader, did not come down pit road. Actually, I'll bring the ticker back up. Not quite sure what the current order is. This Hector Collazo, yeah, there we go. Max Ford was in front, but I believe he just got waved around the pace car, get a lap back. There was James A. Tate getting his lap back as well. Now here's the situation. J.J. Moore, Y.D. Thompson, Travis Prather, all on 1 lap old tires. Hector Collazo on 7 lap old tires. Now's the time we're going to see how much of a difference does those 7 laps of tire wear make. Lights on the pace car, still on. More cars getting waved around. Hector Collazo still your race leader. Moore second, Thompson third, Echeverria fourth, Kalhoff fifth. Henry Kalhoff started the race fourth, currently fifth. Take a look at the guy right in front of him, Carmelo Echeverria. Started 19th, up 15 spots up into P4. Pretty good run from him so far. 9 lap old tires, so basically same tire strategy as Hector Collazo, so it'll be interesting to see how those two play out on their tire strategy. Thompson started 13th, he's up 10 spots. 2 lap old tires. JJ Moore also 2 lap old tires, started 9th up to 7th. And Hector Collazo started 28th, so he's up 27 spots. Pretty good there for the 95 Chevrolet. Lights on the pace car still on. Current running order as it stands: Collazo, Moore, Thompson, Echeverria, Kalhoff, Zarate, Zarate. Not quite sure where William Yakum is. He's 7th, it appears. The Nicholas Road, Travis Prather, Chase Smith route out your top 10. I believe drivers will get the 1 to go signal this time by. Believe they will, I should say.
Nope. Man, I wonder how long it's going to go for. Driver's still out for another lap of pacing. Drivers still going. Lights on the pace car still on. I think drivers are starting to wonder how long they're going to be pacing for. You can see some of them dropping down to the apron to try to save fuel. I believe that's what they're all doing. I think they're trying to get all drivers back on the lead lap, which it appears that they do have all drivers back on the lead lap now. Still being extended. James A. Tate, now the race leader. Drivers, lights on the pace car still on. They are double file though. Tyler Helms, net 88 on the outside. James A. Tate on the inside. Max Ford, Nicholas Rode behind. Finally, lights off the pace car, signaling to our drivers 1 lap to green. James A. Tate, current race leader. Driver's ready to take the green flag once more. We'll get a look from our restart camera. You can see pace car taking it down pit road. Restarts on the 71 here at Homestead. Green flag back out once more. The 71 did not get going at all. My goodness. Tyler Helms with a great restart there. I wonder what happened to the 71. He just did not go. And he's wrecked into round. What in the world just happened? We're getting a replay on that. So, Tate didn't go on the restart. Checked up the entire bottom line. And just spun it into the corner. And then clipped Trenton. Man, that's just unfortunate, man. Trenton was having an amazing night, leading lots of laps, and getting caught up in stuff like this. That's just unfortunate for him. See, there's not much you can do. Tried to get down low. Just flipped and involved in that wreck right there. Tyler Helms in the 88, current race leader. It'll be our eighth or ninth caution of the night. Not quite sure now. Lost count. Someone feel free to correct me if you have count, but I'm not quite sure. Lights on the pace car still on. Tyler Helms, current race leader. Nearing the halfway mark of our race here. Lights on the pace car are off. Driver is currently set for a single file restart. Helms started 17th. Up to the lead. Pace car down pit road. Green flag. Back out at Homestead. Down the front stretch. Everybody clean into one. Martinez Jr. up to P2. Ford into P3. A lot of drivers slamming the wall off the corner there. Martinez Jr. up to P2, a little bit loose out of the corner there. Gonna make the move on Tyler Helms. They're side by side for the lead. Lap 99 out of 200. As Martinez Jr. takes the lead into one. Nearly a 4-car battle for the lead here. Basically 3-car battle for that second position. Christian Zarate involved in that flip earlier on in the night. He's made his way up to P4. Next Ford trying to throw a slider on Helms to keep that position. Didn't quite work. Zarate big time loose out of the corner. Martinez Jr. still your race leader by about 0.3 of a second on newer tires than the rest of the field. Only by about a lap or so. But Helms is falling back pretty quickly. As Ford's going to try to make a move onto the outside of Helms. He's going to flip the wall there. It's going to slow him down quite a bit. Taking a look from our chopper cam, back behind, looking at Martinez Jr., Tyler Helms, and Max Ford, top 3, all right near each other. Everything's starting to file out a little bit more. Past halfway. Lap 104 out of 200 now. Lap time's really picking up compared to what they were earlier. Everybody's on the lead lap. Everybody's on relatively fresher tires. Person out on the longest set of tires, Carmelo Echeverria, he's on 24 lap old tires. He's going to be quite at the disadvantage compared to the drivers that pitted earlier. Ford slowly catching to Helms. Gap down to 0.2 of a second between those two right there for the battle for P2. As Maxwell coming out a little bit there. Just to get an idea of the gap here. There's Martinez Jr. down the backstretch, and there's Tyler Helms. Ford behind him. Zarate even further back, so top 5. Smith in 5th, top 5 pretty spread out here. The lights have finally turned on here at Homestead. The sun has fallen. Gap regulating a little bit between second and third. Ford falling back a little bit more. But Helms has caught Martinez Jr. just a little bit in the past 2 laps or so. Martinez Jr. gap stretching a little bit on Helms. Over half a second now. Martinez Jr. gap up to about 6/10, stretching it to nearly 7 now. Helms falling back. Riding on board the 88. Gap nearly to 8/10. Helms hit the wall on the corner exit there. It's gonna allow Ford to catch a little bit here. Gap between Helms and Ford, 2/10. Helms big time loose off the corner again. 2nd lap in a row, getting really loose off the corner exit there of turn 2. Ford side by side with Helms. Advantage still to Helms by about a car length down the back. Car length and a half too. Ford blinking out. In and out again. Jeez. Pretty badly too. Thompson has actually caught that pack right there a little bit. You can see Wyatt D. Thompson, P4. He's going to try to contend his way in for a P3 spot. You can see JJ Moore catching Max Ford, trying to send it in deep on the inside here. Wasn't quite enough to make it stick on Tyler Helms. Gap between 1st and 2nd, over a second now. So the gap is down to about a second and some change. There's Thompson now battling with Ford for that position. That position of P3. JJ Moore in the mix too. JJ Moore past Max Ford now. Thompson tried to make a move on Helms there. He's gonna make a move on the outside. Significantly older tires than Helms too, running that outside line. Is he gonna get a run off the corner? He's gonna get a run off the corner. He's gonna get really nose to nose with Helms, not quite enough to get the advantage down the backstretch. Into 3, he does have the advantage though. He's clear of Helms by about a car length now. Good move by Thompson there, getting to the race leader. Trenton Wilkin has fought his way back up into 5th position, all the way from being wrecked. JJ Moore making the move down low, nearly gets wrecked by Trenton Wilkin. Trenton Wilkin all over the back bumper of that 42 machine. Riding on board here with Trenton Wilkin. Can look at the rear camera on board with JJ Moore looking at Trenton. You're gonna see gaps stay out the same down the back. The gap may just be regulating itself more or less. Tyler Helms looking at JJ Moore. Oh, Tyler Helms with the outside wall there. That's going to allow JJ Moore to get by. Trenton's going to get by Tyler too. Tyler's up top in the wall. Martinez Jr. still with the lead. Gap less than a second now. Thompson slowly catching. Everybody further on in the back of the pack making their way up front. They're chugging. Gap 0.8 between Martinez Jr. and Thompson. The gap is still closing between these two. Thompson making his way up front. .125 out of 200 here from Homestead. Tyler Helms falling back to 5th place, battling with Hector Colazo. Excuse me, just actually got passed for 5th place by Hector. Get a look at the gap between these two, between that of Thompson and Moore, not very far, but Just in front of Thompson on the left of your screen is Martinez Jr. just off screen. We can take a look at him real quick. There we go. They're going to look at the drivers down low. All of them running down low. Mid-corner. Coast up off the corner. Use the banking to their advantage. Gap actually down to 3/10. Thompson caught a ton that lap. Thompson's on 4-lap older tires. He may have just preserved better than Martinez Jr. did. Gap now about 0.2 of a second. I think I was behind. Yeah, I was behind by quite a bit. Oops. Into turn 3. Thompson with this big send. Going to be side by side with Martinez Jr.
Hey, howdy, hey.
I got it.
Hey. Hey. Yo, does Chase care if it's not on my account?
So, unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances, the stream is going to be getting handed over to Kai Collymore, so he's going to finish off the stream tonight here with y'all. It was a pleasure commentating here tonight, and Kai Collymore is going to finish off here. Stream's going to go down for a couple of minutes, but it should be back up sooner than later. Just keep the eye out for the notification. So, yeah.